Number 9, envious colleagues. When colleagues see your success or potential, it can trigger envy. Maybe they downplay your achievements or undermine your ideas. This kind of behavior can chip away at your confidence, especially when it comes from people that you respect. But their envy has nothing to do with you. Often it reflects their own insecurities, their own confidence issues. Instead of taking it personally, focus on goals and keep moving forward. Let their reactions be a reminder that you're doing something right. After all, no one envies someone who's standing still. Well, hey there. Welcome to Media Savvy, the podcast that gives you a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to get noticed by media and become the go-to expert that they keep coming back to. I'll be sitting down with successful writers, producers, and entrepreneurs to learn the tools and tactics they use to build their reputation and in turn boost their business. I'm your host, Taub-Dix, and I've been working with top-tier media outlets for more than 30 years, anywhere from traditional print publications to online and social platforms. And I'm sharing my nutrition guidance without gimmicks. But you don't have to be a dietitian for this podcast to speak to you. Through my one-to-one conversations, you'll learn how to build a strategy to get your name in the news and establish yourself as an authority in your field, no matter what the industry. With Media Savvy, I'm on a mission to inspire, motivate, and empower you to have the confidence and tools you need to shine in the spotlight. Are you ready? Let's get Media Savvy. If you've ever dreamed about working with media, it's time to stop dreaming and start making it a reality. And I have something special just for you. For my Media Savvy listeners, I am slashing the price of my Media Master Course, but this discount is only available until the end of October. And this isn't just a course. It's your stepping stone to mastering the spotlight and excelling at any interview, whether it's for TV, social media videos, radio, podcasts, print, or even online platforms. If you order now, it also comes with special bonuses, like my pitching template and my detailed equipment list where you could buy equipment, especially if you want to set up a home studio. Plus my media makeup favorites, including where to buy my favorite makeup and how much each of them cost. So if you want to elevate your media game and really make an impact, the time to act is now. Enroll today by just going to my website, betterthandieting.com, and hit the media course in the tab. Enter the code SAVE150 to grab your special discount at checkout. And if you're driving or walking, I'll include this link in the show notes. Don't worry, you'll find it there. Come on, let's ignite your media career and turn your credibility into visibility. You're just a step away from getting your name in the news. Enroll today and start your journey to becoming media savvy. I could just see you in the spotlight. Hey there, Media Savvy listeners. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles. I'm your host, Taub-Dix, and today we're diving into something that every one of us has dealt with in one way or another. And it's those sneaky, silent confidence killers that show up when we least expect them and stop us in our tracks. Whether you're gearing up for a big media interview or you're just trying to share your expertise with the world, these fears can sabotage everything. But don't worry, we're going to tackle them head on today. But before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to tell you a personal story, something that just happened to me that you might be able to relate to. So about 2 episodes ago, we talked about having confidence while networking at big events. And I recorded that right before I went to my profession's annual convention called the Food and Nutrition Conference and Expo, better known as FNCE. In all the years I've been a dietitian, and we're talking decades here, I've only missed one of those mother loads of meetings. But no matter how many I attend, there's always that bit of excitement laced with some angst over what I was going to say when someone asked me, "So, what have you been up to?" My response might vary depending on who's asking the question, but there's always a feeling I have about being judged. And remember, I told you, don't assume that confidence comes naturally to seemingly confident people. That's me. Building your confidence takes work throughout your whole life, no matter who you are or what you're doing, but let's take a closer look at 10 common confidence killers and how to squelch them before they suffocate us. Okay, number 1, fear of rejection and seeking approval from others. We've all been there, waiting for someone to tell us that we're good enough, smart enough, or talented enough. I remember when it took someone else to call me an artist or a writer or a speaker before I believed it myself. Here's the reality. If you're waiting for validation from the outside world, you're giving away your power. Even today, I sometimes catch myself looking at the likes on Instagram to determine if a post was meaningful. That's not where confidence should come from. Confidence comes from knowing your worth, regardless of what others say. And here's the truth. No matter how great you are, there will always be people who will criticize you or who could do something better than you can. Most of them don't even know you, and many don't even understand what you do. They are just talking to hear themselves talk. So the next time you feel rejected or criticized, remind yourself, people who feel good about themselves don't tear others down. The way you internalize criticism can either hurt or empower you. So don't let their noise drown out your own voice. Number 2, second guessing. Stop waiting for that massive pat on the back. You're enough just as you are. Think about your audience, the ones who appreciate your authentic self, no matter how big or small your audience may be. The truth is, when you constantly second guess yourself, if you're lucky, you stay stuck in neutral. But often negative self-talk can send you in reverse. Instead of waiting for approval, show up for the people who need you. You'll always find an audience that values your message if you stop hesitating and start speaking your truth. Number 3, fear of failure. This could be a battle that's inside your head. This one's huge, right? Fear of trying creeps in when we doubt our abilities. You might think, what if I fail? What if I mess up? But who controls that voice inside your head? You do. The fear of failure can be paralyzing. But here's one thing. Failure is part of success. And all too often, it shows up first. Every time you fail, you learn something that helps you move forward. So instead of running from failure, embrace it, let it guide you, teach you, and ultimately make you stronger. The only true failure is not trying at all. And why do we have to even call it failure anyway? Let's just say that the lack of success represents a yield sign instead of a stop sign. It's a pause to give us time to think about stuff in a different way and trying to move in a different direction. Number 4, fear of success. Yep, that I said, fear of success. Let's flip the script. What happens when you succeed? What if your pitch is perfect, your video goes viral, or your inbox is flooded with people asking for your help? What happens then? The fear of success is just as real as the feeling of failure, because that brings on change and expectations and a new level of responsibility, and yes, potentially a lot of work. It's best not to put all of your focus on one single goal, because success isn't a finish line, it's a journey. That's why I never set goal weights for my clients that come to see me about their diets. There are more important things to consider, especially in most cases, once you reach your goal, so to speak, you need to keep working to maintain that success. After I created my media training course, I thought I'd achieve passive income, and I'm putting that in air quotes, and just sit back while it all rolled in. Well, let me tell you, there's nothing passive about creating a course. Success requires effort, adaptability, promotion, and continued growth while connecting with others. And that's a good thing because it means we're never done learning or evolving or even growing. Number 5, perfectionism. The ultimate confidence killer. Perfectionism can keep you from ever getting started. You might think you're waiting for the perfect moment to write your book, send a pitch, or start your business. But guess what? There is no perfect time. Perfection is just a myth. Progress, instead, is what really matters. And this is especially true when working with media. You may feel like you're not perfect enough to be an expert, but the reality is that an expert has experience, knowledge, and a message to share. You don't have to be an expert at media. Yes, I do media training, and it does take some simple steps to train, but is anyone perfect? No, that just doesn't exist. Number 6, media messages. We live in a world where media, especially social media, is designed to make us feel like we're missing something. Perfect families, perfect bodies, perfect meals. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. But here's the secret. What you see online is curated. What's shown is often only the highlighted reel, not the messy reality. And lots of these people who show what is this highlighted reel have teams to help them. Don't let social media convince you that everyone else has it all together. They don't. Focus on your own path and what you bring to the table instead of chasing someone else's version of perfection. Number 7, personal issues. Yeah, sometimes your own background has barriers. Sometimes our past shapes how we see ourselves, whether it's an unhappy childhood, financial stress, or emotional issues like anxiety or depression. These could all be confidence killers. You don't have to let them define you. Own your own story. Whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, embrace who you are and how you operate. Appreciate who you are, even if you have to dig deep sometimes to find your own hidden talents. Believe me, they're there. Number 8, lack of support from family members. One of the toughest confidence killers can be the people that are closest to us. When family members don't believe in your dreams or don't understand your goals, it could feel like personal rejection. Maybe they're worried you'll fail, or perhaps they're projecting their own fears onto you. Maybe they think they're actually protecting you. Whatever the reason, it's hard when you feel like your family isn't on your side. But one thing to remember is that their lack of faith doesn't define your potential. You have to create your own belief system. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs happen when you trust yourself, even when no one else does. Prove to yourself that you're capable, and eventually others will follow. Okay, this is a tough one too. Number 9, envious colleagues. When colleagues see your success or potential, it can trigger envy. Maybe they downplay your achievements or undermine your ideas. This kind of behavior can chip away at your confidence, especially when it comes from people that you respect. But their envy has nothing to do with you. Often it reflects their own insecurities, their own confidence issues. Instead of taking it personally, focus on goals and keep moving forward. Let their reactions be a reminder that you're doing something right. After all, no one envies someone who's standing still. Number 10 is another tough one. A spouse, a partner, or a significant other might discourage you from working too hard. Yeah, sometimes your biggest challenge can come from within your own home. A spouse who worries that you're working too hard or feels threatened by your success can be a subtle confidence killer. They might say things like, "You don't need to push yourself so much. Why can't you just be satisfied with where you are?" It's often well-intentioned, but it could make you question your drive. Please remember that your ambition doesn't have to be a conflict with your relationship. It's okay to want more and to work hard for it. Set boundaries, communicate your goals, and remind your partner that your success is part of your shared journey, and you really want them to come along with you. Well, we really need to slay these confidence killers. And as we wrap up today, I want you to remember this. Confidence doesn't come from external validation or the approval of others. It comes from within. And sure, it's wonderful to get that pat on the back, or I'd hate to say those likes or comments that we look for on social media, but you are more than that. For me, sometimes I'll post something that I think is so clever and I barely get any likes. And I just need to learn to move away from that and just keep going forward. And the funny thing about that is that sometimes I'll run into someone who says, "Oh, I loved your post on XYZ. And that's the post that hardly got any likes, but you see, there was somebody out there listening and appreciating it. And yes, it's really tough when family members may not seem like they believe in you, when colleagues feel threatened by your success, or when the people closest to you try to hold you back out of fear or insecurity. But those are their fears, not yours. You get to decide how far you go, how hard you push, and how bright you shine. Your dreams and your ambition are worth fighting for, even if it feels like you're standing alone at times. While support from others is wonderful, the most important person to believe in you is you. The journey is yours, and only you can choose to keep moving forward, despite the doubts and the noise around you, or perhaps even from the noise that's coming from within you. So as you face these confidence killers, whether they come from family, colleagues, or even your own thoughts, remind yourself that you are capable, you are worthy, and you have the strength to overcome whatever obstacles stand in your way. The world needs what you have to offer. Don't let anyone, yourself included, keep you from embracing your true potential and fulfilling what you've been meant to achieve. I really want to thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode resonated with you, I hope you'll take a moment to share it with someone who might need a little bit of a confidence boost today. Please leave a review if you have found some value here. And don't forget to subscribe to Media Savvy for more strategies on how to build the confidence you need to succeed, whether in the media spotlight or even in your everyday life. Together, we could silence those confidence killers and rise above them. You've got this. I'm rooting for you. Always. Thanks again for tuning in.